Welcome, everybody, to the Closer to the Edge podcast, the anti-sleep aid for anyone sick of political self-censoring and hushed tones on the left-wing podcast at a time when we need to be loud.
So buckle the fuck up.
Maybe right now, real quick, tell me about what the hell happened with you in that tactical vest. I know what happened. I was there, but
We are here. We are back. The Closer to the Edge podcast. Hey, and I just need to say, Rook T. motherfucking Winchester, man. How are you? It's been so long.
I am back. Thank you for getting through the last couple weeks without me. I've been very busy, and you're going to hear all about it. But first, Doug, your background. What's going on there?
Oh, well, I figured since they can't apologize for the racist, what is that, tweet that they have, this guy here and his ridiculous wife here, the European prostitute that's now the first lady. They deserve the same treatment. So I found this picture during the halftime show of yesterday's Super Bowl, and I said that this is exactly what I'd like to represent all the way through the rest of this show.
I love it. Is that what you refer to as a Trumpanzee, or is that?
Oh, I like it. I'll take it. This is the Trumpanzee, right? The Trumpanzee. Since there's no need to apologize anymore for making black folks look like apes, I figured that I could make them look closer to their reality. And then over here we have a pay pig. We have a MAGA pay pig. Yeah.
Twig's customers right there, probably.
Yes. One of Twig's customers right there, paying to see feet or hair or hands or, basically any part of a woman because they haven't been able to see it in their real life ever. And then, they go to people like Twig on the left wing, girls and women. Well, girls, yeah, we know from the Epstein files what they like, but women will say now, and pay them for the pictures and pay them to dominate them and make sure that they're left wing because they know that they deserve it. It's a weird phenomenon.
Shout out to Twig. I hope she's doing well. Send in a message, Twig. We want to hear from you.
Yes, indeed.
I think we got to get our guests on because and they can tell you what we've been up to in the past couple weeks here. There's been a lot to talk about.
There has been, and I'm going to. Should I allow you to say? Well, you've been in Minneapolis. You've been in Minnesota, and if you look at the title of this. What I believe the last few weeks will be known for history in the history books is the Minnesota Dildo Rebellion of 2026. It will go down, and we're going to add the people to the stage who are a part of this historic rebellion, and I'll let them introduce themselves, or you can call on them, Rook.
Well,
these are your partners in crime.
I think we're all one big happy family, right? But I think I'll let these guys introduce themselves. Whoever wants to go first, you go for it.
I'm Ari. I kind of planted the seed of giving people dildos to let them, tell them to go fuck themselves, essentially.
Outstanding. The inspiration for what's been dubbed Operation Dildo Blitz. But yeah, you have the original dildo distribution delegation here, as you may have seen. But before we get to that, let's hear from Matt and have him introduce himself for people that don't know Matt Wagner.
Hey guys, can you hear me?
Very well.
Okay, good. My name is Matt Wagner. I'm a photographer based out of Richmond, Virginia. got involved with this whole thing about a year ago, a little under a year ago, and well, it seems to be going well. We've hit the next phase of this thing with the Dildo Rebellion, and just excited to see what comes next. You know, I'm along for the ride. These guys are the brains behind it, and I'm just trying to capture the pictures to show the world.
And I've seen some of those pictures, not just of the great, I think I'm going to rename it. It's got to be the great Minnesota Dildo Rebellion of 2026. I think we need to make sure we add great to it. But I've seen some of the pictures that you do, and my friend, you are an artiste. They are amazing, amazing, really good.
It's easy when the subject matter is there, and makes my life a lot easier.
That's what's up. Okay, people, and you may know we've had him on the show before, Chance, the real Chance Meeting. But you can reintroduce yourself, sir.
Yeah, I'm Chance Meeting. Can you guys hear me okay?
Yep, sound good.
I'm Chance Meeting. I'm a writer and filmmaker, and I'm just happy to be a part of history, the Dildo Distribution Delegation. Yeah, the first time that we did it, actually, Matt said you're there just to capture pictures, but you were leading the charge the first time we did it. I don't know if you remember, but it's
gotta have some fun.
We're gonna take back America.
Girthy again.
Say it again, Ari.
Make America girthy again.
Oh, girthy. I love it. I love it. All right, everybody, when you're watching this, understand that in the top right-hand corner, there is a QR code, and that takes you directly to the Substack, the Closer to the Edge Substack, where you can see the reporting on what's been going on there on the streets from Rook T. Winchester himself, the man of mystery. All right, the worldly king here is doing great work out there with the help of the people you see here.
No kings, Doug. No kings. It's not
no
about
kings. No,
no. This is a family. This is a group. This is a delegation. This isn't. This is. Yeah. This deserves to have credit shared because this wasn't possible with just me. This took everyone. So if you want to see the full report on the first iteration of the Dildo Distribution Delegation, then yeah, head over to Substack and read our article about that. But yeah, Matt was leading the charge. I remember, yeah, Matt took out a big blue one there and was waving above his head. We didn't play that video, but
yeah, you can't help but have fun and laugh, and it's just so absurd. And you know what they're doing is absurd, and then it's like you show up and your weapon of choice is a big plastic dildo. It's like they can't really paint a picture of these people are bloodthirsty and they've got weapons and they're here to hurt us. It's like, no, we're gonna have some fun with this.
yeah, we're gonna clown these authoritarian clowns.
yeah. When your main tool is fear, it's kind of hard. It's kind of hard to weaponize that when you're running from dildos in all directions, and all shapes and sizes, and you know.
What are you gonna say? I got attacked by dildos? Like, oh my god, they chased me with dildos. Like,
I love the one guy who was filming outside of his car, and he had the window down at the one that was outside of Whipple, and he got hit in the face. Like, I wonder if he has that footage of it coming towards him as he's filming. That'd be great to see.
Let's go from the beginning. The people want to know, right? The people are clamoring to know, members of the delegation, how did this start? I got a video that we put on the Closer to the Edge podcast in what we call our premature, what's it called? Premature postings. And in it was the very first time Ari was there. I believe Rook T. Win, I believe Chance was there. And you guys got a box of dildos talk about this the first time this happened, and then we'll move on to how this has turned into a whole daggone movement.
I guess we'll start with the first dildo on the door. Just yeah, so when everything happened with my dad being detained, my aunt, who's very MAGA, and her girlfriend, they told me that I had to move. So when I left, I wanted to tell them, to go F themselves. And I couldn't say it directly. So I left a dildo suction cupped on the door. And I wrote, "For Lourdes," so they knew who I was leaving it for. And it was the most offensive thing that I could have done. And then it just sparked just something inside me where I was like, yeah, when people wrong me now, I'm just gonna give them a dick.
Take a dick. Eat a dick. So look, wait a minute. So here's the thing. Let's get into that just a little bit, and then we'll keep on going. Your dad was detained in Alligator Alcatraz, and your aunt is still MAGA. Now, first of all, if you're from most people from anywhere outside of America, especially brown countries, and especially in the Caribbean, we know how hard it is to be disrespectful to our parents. So when you say, you can't just say that to them, there's probably a lot of American boys and girls out here going, I would have told her to go fuck herself. It's like, no, you don't understand.
I technically said it, but it's just like, that I would have felt guilty. So I was just like, how can I do it and make it funny so I don't have a guilt factor?
Right. So yeah, we it's hard to do it. Well, I know in my household, it's just different. It's just different. But I find it strange that they're still MAGA when their own family member is locked up. Huh?
Yeah, there are just things that have no explanations, and it's just, it's like an incurable disease. And hopefully they'll have an experimental treatment for the MAGAs soon, because...
That's amazing. I'm sorry to hear that, but I'll let you continue. All right, so we'll go on further.
It's all of Miami anyway, so...
Yeah, it's all of Miami. Yeah, we'll get into that further on down. Let's continue on with the story.
So, I heard Ari told me this story about her aunt and about the suction cup dildo on the door, and I knew of this place called the Smitten Kitten. They're a sex shop here in Minneapolis, and they've been heavily involved in helping support the community in any way that they can. So I thought about, what would happen if we brought a bunch of dildos to a protest, and distributed them. So I called Smitten Kitten and asked if they had any discounted dildos we could come by. We really didn't have a plan. We just wanted to bring them to the protest. And you can see everything that happened in the video. But when we called Smitten Kitten, they answered the phone. Smitten Kitten, fuck ice, how can we help you? So we knew that we had called the right place. So props to Smitten Kitten.
So that's the actual answer they give. And I'm pretty sure that there's quite a few people that have the same businesses that have the same outlook right there.
I think there are businesses out there, like most of them in Minneapolis. Yeah.
Welcome here, ice, like ice out signs, like just about everywhere.
Yeah, the majority of the businesses there don't even serve. They say they don't serve federal agents, ICE agents, anything.
Outstanding. So I have a little bit of a video to show there. Then we're gonna get to Matt and Chance. Well, I'd like to see if I can show this one on the origins. Now this is from our new experimental. Well, I know Chance you may not. There's some people out there who don't like the idea of the AI, but I have to show you. I laughed my balls off when I saw this original reporting here.
And I know that you federal agents out there in Minneapolis would prefer something different, seeing as how the grinder activity has risen like that thing in your pants when you think of strong, sexy men as soon as you showed up to Minnesota. But you have to keep up appearances, don't you? So Drill Sergeant Doug sent me to talk to you instead, because we want all of you tough guys in camo out there to know we've already won. The revolution did not arrive with speeches, or pamphlets, or a carefully moderated Zoom call about optics. It arrived in a cardboard box full of clearance bin dildos. We were standing inside a sex shop, glowing purple, planning the dumbest coup in American history. We told the staff we were bulk buying dildos to psychologically dismantle a federal law enforcement agency. They didn't flinch. They just said, "Okay, how many?" And then she said it. "I'm going to hand out big dicks to little dick ICE agents." Somewhere, a federal HR manager felt a disturbance in the force.
Okay, I'll stop.
We took
there.
the box to dinner.
There she goes.
Real food, soft
And there
lighting,
he goes.
a cardboard box of dildos on the table like a deeply obscene centerpiece. For 10 minutes, life was normal. Then we came.
Okay, I'll stop it there. So, the smitten kitten, and all that needs to be said is when you say, "Hey, let me get 1,000 dildos to throw at ICE," and nobody even breaks stride. Nobody said.
We didn't say it that way. Because we didn't know what we were gonna do with them. We had no way to know what people were gonna do with these things. So we just said we were going to a hotel protest where ICE was staying, and we wanted to bring some dildos, and that's really all we needed to say. So,
Oh yes, that's
um,
right. Because nobody knows what we're doing with the dildo. You just want them, and we don't condone. Right. Okay, so Chance, I saw you there. Tell me when you get into this, where you fit into the situation.
Well, we were all there in Minneapolis together. We traveled from Chicago. Ari had actually told us the story of, gifting a dildo to her aunt who was MAGA while we were down in Florida. We visited there. We went to the vigil outside of Alligator Alcatraz and interviewed her. And then we went on a boat tour in Miami, and I think that's when she told us the story about it, or it might have been on the bus coming back from Alligator Alcatraz. But then she came up to Chicago with us, and then we went to Minneapolis together. And we were all there, so the plan kind of happened naturally. We were all laughing, talking about the story, and then kind of had the idea naturally. I don't know, who suggested that we get it for that protest. But yeah, like Rook said, called Smitten Kitten. They were like, "We got some discount dicks for you." And we went there and got them. And I guess now the rest is history.
Outstanding.
Yeah, because Ari, can you talk about what the message that you received shortly thereafter?
From Like a Kitten?
Yeah, from Like a Kitten, separate from Smitten Kitten, another kitten company, another great sex shop. But
I think I received a message from Like a Kitten. I think the day after the first set of dicks were dropped, and they were like, "Oh, we want to contribute to the cause. Like, I have a bunch of dildos." And at first, I thought it was going to be 100 dildos, and then, people got. She got very generous. she got very generous. She had a lot of dick to give.
Okay, outstanding. I love it. Oh man. Okay. So we're also getting to that.
500 dicks. I think it was more than a football field if we measured it outright, but it was a lot of dick.
Yeah, and a lot of seen a true 8 inches,
Yeah, those things look big.
There were all kinds. There was no discrimination, right?
Yep.
Okay, so when this happens, the very first time, I'm gonna show a couple pictures here, and this is I'm guessing. Well, yeah, there's even more pictures. You gave me so many. Wow, bro. So the very first time I'm reading your post, Rook, and your article.
Yeah.
And you hand them out. And listen, we don't condone throwing anything at ICE agents. That's not what we are is distributors here. Me, not even me. What they are is distributors, and I am simply the broadcaster. I'm an accomplice here. But what they did when they got them, well, the first thing they started to do was not use them on themselves, which I'm sure you guys thought was going to happen. Instead, they just threw them, and they're landing at the feet of people in combat boots for unknown reasons, because they're not in Fallujah.
And they only threw, like, we had 40 or like, I think it was like 30 something of them, and people only threw a few. Most of them were using them as instruments, having them suction cupped onto their heads. Like, they were actually using them as, like, you know, like a prop.
Nice.
Like, they were actually having fun with it.
Because we were at a noise protest. It was at ICE's hotel. So, every night they find out where ICE is staying, and they make as much noise as possible to keep them from being able to go to sleep at night. So, they do that every single night. We went there with them, and a lot of them were using them to, like, bang on instruments, bang on the street signs, make a bunch of noise with them and stuff like that. Yeah.
I love it. Absolutely love it. So this was the first date, and I'm first thing I saw was these pictures and everybody having fun with these dildos, and then I see Matt for the first time as this thing grows. Matt, tell us this next phase when you got introduced here, because I don't think you were there for the first one, were you? I didn't see you in the pictures.
Is Matt with us?
Matt.
No, I lost Matt.
Matt dropped off.
There he goes. There he goes. Did you hear me?
Yeah, can you hear me?
I hear you now.
All right, good. I still have no video over here. I don't know what's going on. This is a new platform for me, so whatever.
We'll see you fine.
You see me?
Yeah, we see you.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah, so I was at the first one. I wasn't at this last one, and I'm a little jealous of all the pictures that came out of that one because it was amazing.
No, we weren't there.
Yeah.
But yeah, the first one, like I said, I was just along for the ride. They hatched this plan with Ari's little seed that she planted, and it just seemed like a great idea. And then it was like, well, Smitten Kitten's doing so many good things for the community. How do we, promote them while simultaneously making fun of this ridiculous regime? And it just kind of worked out itself.
Well, I'm thinking that this was great. I'm thinking this is a one-time thing. And then next thing you know, good and decent people of YouTube. And if you're watching on Spotify or Apple, and if you're just listening, I'm sorry for you, because what you're about to see next, good and decent people of YouTube, this one time having fun, small seed, little seed, which I think is, not the right entendre that we for what I saw, turned into a goddamn revolution. People, let's watch some of this footage here.
the sheriffs, and you know, I think that when the ICE agents have to drive in and out of there, so a lot of those cars driving in and out were ICE agents. That one guy who was really getting the treatment, he was actually on our side, and I think he was just being kind enough to let us decorate his vehicle. But the crowd got a little overzealous after Jake Lang showed up. And I sent you a video of that too.
Yeah, let's.
He had showed up right before we distributed the dildos. Jake Lane had shown up, and it kind of riled up the crowd. And there are reports that people were throwing chunks of ice at the police, but the only ice that we saw that day was in the back of Lang's U-Haul that he was kicking out onto the street. So I don't know if they're confusing these transparent dildos with ice. I mean, they look like they could be made out of ice, but it's silicone rubber and very soft to the touch.
This guy, he had some sort of truck behind him. And if you guys don't know who Jake Lang is, he is the guy who goes out there and burns Qurans because he's a white supremacist and he is a J6 pardonee, right? And
proud Nazi.
Big.
Say it again.
I said big loser.
Big loser, outstanding. And he also decided to go out and try to instigate as much as he could with the people protesting. Okay, what you see there, that's a U-Haul truck. Somebody with a wooden cross coming out of it, and the only reason why it's not burning is because it's not nighttime yet. That is Jake Lang's truck. And the guy behind him, I don't believe is actually a cop at all. I believe that was security that he hired. He hired security to go behind him so he could come out here with this cross. And that cross was meant to be at a place where he could go burn Qurans to intimidate Somali business owners and citizens or residents. And instead, because he tried to kick over some ice and fall on his ass in doing so, he was arrested and couldn't make that happen. So instead, this is what he decided to do: to take this KKK cross, drive around out the back of it, hire security, because the last time he got his ass kicked, and that's what we're watching now. This is
There's a dildo.
There is a dildo there. Oh, a big one right there.
They're also dumping ice outside.
And there's the ice that they're dumping.
And they had a paintball gun as well.
I did see the paintball gun. I was trying to find the best one, but I didn't see it in this one. They're shooting paintball. Well, I think it was actually chemical balls out of a paintball gun. And these guys are not getting arrested. These guys are not getting arrested. Right?
Yo, right. Yeah, so I misspoke earlier when I said they had a police escort. Everything happened so fast, and it just looked like security details. So, to be clear, I guess that's his own security to trail his own U-Haul as he kicks chunks of ice out of the back of the U-Haul and bear sprays people.
Yep. And shoots them with paintball guns, with chemicals inside paintball guns. So, this is where we are. And this is what they're fighting. Do not let the rubber and plastic dildos fool you, audience. Every single time these people go out there, there's a chance that they're going to meet the state, who's violent, or a freak like this, who's has internalized his little dick syndrome and how much women hate him his entire life, and will manifest in extremely violent and irrational ways to prove his manhood to himself and his mother, who still hates him but acts like she loves him. This is very serious.
Protesters showed up at Whipple today in Minnesota, and they were armed with plastic penises, and they were throwing them at ice or putting them in the fence and chanting "the dick." So while this may seem funny, and it is, this is strategically funny. I'm going to explain 5 ways that this was pure genius, because authoritarians cannot withstand ridicule. So number 1, ridicule punctures that aura of authority. So seeing a dildo on the fence around him or seeing dildos thrown, that now goes from like, these are fearsome agents of authoritarian power to these dudes are getting clowned in public. Number 2, it creates a real dilemma. When protesters are absurd and not threatening, now the state has a dilemma. Are they going to arrest someone for throwing a dildo or sticking one in a fence? Are they going to crack heads? Are they going to hold a press conference saying, we were attacked by dildos? Every response that they can take is going to make them look petty. Third way that this is genius is this is going to widen the coalition. Not everyone is going to show up for like a real heavy moral protest, right? One with fear. But they'll show up for the lulz. Number 4, it exposes the asymmetry when the opposition is violent. When one side is armed and the other side just has something like dildos, or like in DC where the guy threw a sandwich, the contrast becomes really stark. Violent institutions want violent confrontation. What they don't want is being laughed at and ridiculed. And number 5, it denies your opponent the narrative that they want. ICE and other agencies want to frame these protesters as dangerous, worthy of suppression. Ridicule denies them that script. It's pretty hard to label a dildo as a weapon of insurrection. Mockery works best when it stays nonviolent, punches up, not sideways or down, and doesn't drift into cruelty. So the bottom line is this protest was not unserious. It was strategically unserious because it drains the fear, it fractures that aura of authority, it complicates repression, it attracts attention, and it forces a violent opponent into a lose-lose proposition. Now, we have heard that 30-some people were arrested for this protest, which is going to be a nightmare for ICE, because now they're going to have to go into court and talk about dildos. Protest.
They're going to have to go into court and talk about dildos. And then Exhibit A comes out. And the jury laughs its arse off. So here's the next part. We're going to talk about something a little more serious, even though she basically broke it down why what you guys do is serious, and why, despite the jokes and my, nonchalant attitude here, the truth is I admire and look up to all of you. I wish I could have been there. And the number one thing that has plagued my mind or stayed with me at nighttime every day for the past couple of weeks is knowing that I'm not there fighting with you. So I wanted to give you your flowers.
Well, you're with us in spirit. And yeah, I want to talk about more why we do this, why Matt does what he does, why Chance does what he does, why Ari does what she does. Because we're not just out there to obviously, making people laugh and bringing a little bit of absurdity to a protest is a good thing, but we want to keep the focus on why we're doing this. And it's obviously because people are being caged unjustly, treated just god awfully. And I mean, for me, it saddens me every day. I wake up sad that all these people are suffering, and it eats at me. And I wanted to find a way to, I guess, bring it back to people's attention, because I think sometimes, with protests every day, it can kind of just slip out of the news cycle. But the focus needs to be on these people that are in these concentration camps, and that's what we should call them.
One of the ways that this has manifested itself is a place called Alligator Alcatraz. Now, every single person here has a story and they're all going to tell it. But I've been wanting to talk to you, Ari, for a long time about your protest down there and what's been going on down there. Can you tell us a little bit about, before this, the Great Dildo Rebellion of 2026, what were you doing?
So my dad was detained at a routine ICE check-in on October 29th last year. There is a group of people that stand outside of the Miramar Center. It's they call themselves the Circle of Protection, like the Miramar Circle of Protection. And they go there Wednesday mornings. They hand out coffee, snacks, and they give resources to families waiting while they're with their family members waiting to check in case anything does happen. So Maria and Sylvia invited me to the vigil at Alligator Alcatraz. I went, and I've seen protesting before, but the vigils, it's different because it's more of, it's more peaceful. It's more about prayer. It's more about people trying to, give each other hope. And it's mostly old people, like very, very old people. A lot of Holocaust survivors, children of Holocaust survivors. And I went because I was just a pissed off daughter. And I thought it was like, oh, a protest, like perfect. I get to yell and like decompress a bit because it was the first few days. It's like I had no idea how any of this would play out, how any of this is, I still don't know how any of this is gonna play out. I went to the first vigil. They told me they had the vigils every Sunday, and I just started showing up. And when I would show up, they would ask me sometimes if I wanted to speak, and I would. Then other families of detainees saw me speaking out at the vigils, and they started showing up as well, and we started connecting. And then I kept showing up, and I keep showing up, and like after the second or third vigil, it became about connecting with other families and trying to share resources and information. And what have you done? Did it work? Was it a waste? And everyone was trying different approaches, and it kind of gave us an idea of what was worth trying and what wasn't worth trying. And it just, I had my tour business where I did my walking tours. I helped manage 2 sightseeing operations. I worked from home. I was working 60 hours a week minimum on a regular basis. So I was like, I don't know how I'm going to make the time to do this. And I don't know. It's just, when someone you love is in a position where you know that they're in their health, and I just, where their livelihood is compromised, it just lights like a fire in you where you don't get tired, and you're like, this is what I have to do. This is what I need to do. And week after week, I started just going to the vigils and trying to figure out who else is willing to hear my story, so that even if the other families, most of the families who are there aren't willing to speak, they'll speak to certain people and then they don't want to do more than that. They're like, oh, I'll speak out one time. And then, so I kind of get their stories. And whenever, I speak, I'm not representing just myself. I'm representing all of them.
Is that
and I know
mainly because of fear of retribution and all that? Understood. Everybody there, I'm assuming if you have a relative there that is undocumented or even just from somewhere else, if documented or not, I don't think it matters anymore. I think that lie has been, everybody knows that that's not the case. Their family members, you can bet, are also many times from somewhere else, and being out there is a real risk, because if you look brown, the Supreme Court has now said that you don't have to even do anything, and you can be arrested and detained because you look brown. That's it. So many times on this show I've said the Black folks have decided as a whole, the ancestors spoke and said, we're not doing this shit. We're not coming out here. White people are going to have to fight this one out. And I stand with that because the dangers that are involved and the learning curve that's necessary on how to fight this. So when I see people, indigenous people, people who are immigrants, people who are brown in any way, go out there and fight and vigil and tell their stories, it means a whole lot to me. A whole lot. That's a lot on the line. So I want you to know that I recognize that. I see that for what it is. And I understand the heightened danger that you and others that were there, that have been there and are still there, I'm assuming, have been putting themselves in. It's appreciated. It's much appreciated, Ari. Before we go, do you know anything about the misplacement of human bodies in Alligator Alcatraz? There's people who were supposed to be there that are no longer there. They don't know where they are. Can you give us any information on that?
That's something that for months, Sunday after Sunday, people show up that their family members are missing. And sometimes they'll hear back from them a month later. And they've been moved around from detention center to detention center for weeks until they're taken to Mexico. So it's just show. It's disgusting. They have no real order, no real logging, no real system. So people come in and out, and they have everything like on paper logs. So I think it's purposely done that way, because if it's a paper log, of course everything's gonna go missing. If everything's not like electronic, things go missing, and they need things to go missing so that then they don't have to explain why people are going missing.
Yep. Fucking disgusting, man. Have you heard from your father?
Yeah, so he, as of like the last couple of days, they took him out of the infirmary finally. So now he's not shackled to a bed anymore. He can socialize with other people. And he called me today and he said that there was a committee that went to inspect the site, and that the entire camp was just yelling libertad, libertad, freedom in Spanish.
Mm-hmm.
And I was asking him, I was like, so is everything calm? Because I know that whenever people do kind of get riled up in there, they start, throwing tear gas and pepper spraying them. And then he was like, no, people are just yelling. And then I was just like, okay, if anything, just get your shirt and put it over your face. And then he was like, but that's what they're doing now? And I'm like, yeah, in the time that you've been outside of there, from the time that you were in Chrome to now, there's been lots of reports of them pepper spraying people when they start chanting together. So wow. It's there's things that he's not even aware of, because in the infirmary, you're not allowed to really talk to anybody else.
Yeah.
Well, then I have to kind of tell him things, and he's like, oh, okay. And then he but it's just scary, because I'm I don't want to put fear in him. I don't want to instill any fear in him, but at the same time, I kind of have to give him a heads up. And then he starts worrying oh my God, so this is what my daughter's thinking about. This is what my daughter's freaking out about.
Yeah.
It's just.
As a dad, I can understand. He's not even worried about him. He's worried about what you think about him going through. He doesn't want you going, man. Yeah, that's tough. That is rough. Listen, once again, thank you. And I'm glad that at least you know where he is, and he's okay. So I want to go to, this is just why we're here. You said it best, Rook. This is why these people are outside Whipple. This is why they're gathering outside North and South Carolina. This is why they're in LA and in Chicago. This is why they're in the cold marching, listeners. It's not fun and games. It's serious. Matt, tell me about your adventure into this, your story into this. What's going on that moved you to?
Yeah, murder, Matt. About murder.
Well, you guys can hear me, correct?
Yep, sound good.
Okay. So my start in this, you know, I was very apolitical through Trump, the first go around, and but I just saw from a outside point of view how crazy he made everybody, and I was like, this isn't good for the country, and he's definitely a troll. And but I was like, he'll pass, and we'll move on from this. And then when he got reelected, I was like, this is bullshit. I can't live through watching everybody, and especially those I care about the most, who were, you know, involved in politics and keeping up with it. I can't watch them, you know, go down this rabbit hole again alone. So I just I think it was his meeting with Zelensky, and I was like so infuriated with that
did it for a lot of people. I have a Navy buddy who was like, never wants to do anything about it. Then he saw that, he called me in the morning looking for the first time in like 2 years. Like, bro, you were right. What do I do now?
Yeah, it's like, enough's enough. What weapons do I got in my bin? And
right.
I've been a professional photographer for about 4 years now. I was like, you know what, documentation. Let me record these strong voices out there and celebrate their passion and their fight, and then through going and just showing up week after week and getting these pictures and hearing the stories and talking to people and finding all these common grounds, and then, you know, we're not alone. And then it was just like, I went from trying to stay in the middle of the road and document both sides to like, I'm all in as far as activism, and you know, my camera is my best way to fight against this, to expose the cruelty and the as well as celebrate the strong voices out there, just giving it their all, like Arion and the powerful speakers we see, you know, every week, every month. Very fortunate to live so close to DC, where a lot of this transpired over the last year with the great speeches and the very memorable moments. And then so I met these guys through DC, and Arion just about a month ago when she traveled back up with Chance and Rook. And you know, I think it was a time when it was like all hands on deck to get to Minneapolis. There's extreme government overreach happening there, and I was just so itchy to get there with my camera and get those shots to expose these masked terrorists decimating the community. And and Chance wants me to talk about the car crash, but
I didn't say that.
That was Rook. Rook is always trying to put a stick in it. I'm telling you, it's Rook.
Getting blamed for our attempt, and it was Matt. It was not.
It was not Chance.
Not according to Google.
Yeah, I thought it was Chance. All the reports say Chance. All right, Matt. You gotta let us know, man.
So yeah, we had some trials and tribulations getting to Minneapolis, but we made it safely. On the way there, we were involved in a bit of an accident. You know, we took a semi truck. Not head on, but we slipped into one, and
we slipped into one.
We slipped into one.
It came out of nowhere. But yeah, we all survived, and you know, this is just a great group, because even after that, we were all like, okay, everybody's cool, everybody's okay. Somehow the car still runs. We drove it the next day without 2 headlights and a front end and a back window.
Still driving it right now.
Yeah, he's still driving it right now in the daylight.
Yo.
Cross country.
I'm gonna need any listeners out there that own body shops or anything. Please donate to help out.
I'm
Please.
fixing it as soon as I get to North Carolina, which should be in a day or two.
Okay. Well, okay.
Yeah.
No, you're good. You're good.
No, I was gonna ask, how did you get with Ari and Rook? Because I know that we, as you know, in a part of Owl Media and all of that, are together. When did Ari join in and say, "Hey, I'm riding with you guys"?
In Chicago.
Yeah, in Chicago. Because when we were in Florida, after the vigil and after we filmed Ari's speech there at the vigil and did an interview with her, we just started talking about maybe her coming up to Chicago to speak at the protest that we were doing outside of the Broadview concentration camp, which Carlos Alvarez Araños, the leader of American opposition, he was the one that built that protest from the ground up there. So I called him. Yeah, I called him while we were in Florida and was like, hey, can we get Ari on the docket to speak there? And he was like, yeah, sure. And just like that, she was set to speak in Chicago. So she flew up from Florida to Chicago. She had a return flight to go back. And we were all talking about, driving from Chicago to Minneapolis. And she was like, yeah, that sounds like a good idea.
Wow, here it is. So
And
I'm
then I
all
quit
in, motherfucker.
And I hit the road.
I love it. All right, tell us about what you got going on next, Chance.
Well, tomorrow I'm supposed to be waking up.
Oh, you got to move that. You got a paper rubbing up on the mic or something like that.
Sorry, it's probably my jacket.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm right outside of DC right now, and tomorrow I'm supposed to be waking up really early to drive into DC and capture the Walk for Peace monks that are walking into DC in the morning. They've been walking since Texas, I think, since October 25th or something. They've been walking. Yeah,
I'm absolutely amazing. People, every time they go by anybody that I know, they're like capturing pictures, like, oh, we went and saw the monks, and I found out about it way too late. But that's pretty awesome, man. And so that's where they're supposed to be. Are they going by the Capitol, or are they going does they have a planned route? We know.
So I have the route right here in my notes. I won't be there for Wednesday. They have an actual event on Wednesday, but they're going to the Lincoln Memorial on Wednesday, but they're crossing the Chain Bridge into DC around 8 a.m. And there's an event at 10:45, and then they'll walk to the cathedral after that. So I don't know how long, I'm not sure if I'm going to stay in town tomorrow night, so I don't know how long I'll have tomorrow. I'm definitely going to capture them walking in, and then I'll see, because if I leave tomorrow, I'll have to leave a little bit early so that I can drive during the day, since, as Matt said, I don't have headlights on my car to be able to drive at night. But that'll be, if I might stay the night and then drive the next day, but we'll see. Yeah, we'll see how I'm feeling, because I've been on the road for over a month now, and I want to get home, fix the car, rest for a couple of days, do some editing, and then I'm hitting the road again, going back down to Florida. And then who knows where I'll go after that. I think I got to be back up in DC on the 24th, but thinking of also going to the concentration camp in Dilley, Texas in between then. So, we do everything by the seat of our pants. So those plans could change. We'll see.
Yeah. And I would like to remind everybody in here that when we're doing stuff on YouTube and out here in the world, be careful how you let people know those future plans and where you're going and dates and times. So just think about
they
that
can
type of stuff.
Outside.
Catch me outside, bitch ass.
Catch me outside. I got people every place that I'm going, so
excellent.
They can find me with the people where I'm at.
And I don't know if you're hooked in. I know you are with a few of us, but SOL as well, Sons of Liberty. We out here to keep people safe. If y'all ever need that or feel that the organization has done some restructuring to ensure that we are prioritizing keeping people safe. It's a bunch of vets who value the Second Amendment and actually know what we're doing out there and don't cosplay in the woods. So
like they say in Andor, I have friends everywhere.
Friends everywhere. Listen, it's surreal, man. It's surreal. Being here with you guys and just kind of watching from afar what's been going on, watching it being chronicled by all of your great reporting, and all of that has just been amazing to watch. It's hard to not be there with you, but we here, man. You get your flowers. All of you have been through the fire. You are now knighted by by the resistance, or as it were. And I just need everybody who's listening to know that your kids are gonna grow up, and there will be a section of the history book, and it'll say after an American Nazi or American authoritarianism was defeated, there will be a section that says the Great Minnesota Dildo Rebellion of 2026. And you can tell your sons and your daughters or your grandchildren that, yeah, you saw them on motherfucking Closer to the Edge podcast, goddammit.
Yeah, hell yeah. Can I ask one more question of Chance?
It's on you,
Just so
man.
you can work in some clips later on. Chance, what are your greatest moments that you remember from Andor? I want to inspire people. Can you just maybe name your top 3 moments from Andor?
No, because
and why you like
the show, and I don't want to ruin anything or spoil anything. You need to watch the fucking show.
No,
okay, can you talk more?
Wait a minute. Hold on. Time out. Unacceptable. Rook
exactly.
T motherfucking Winchester.
Neither has Ari.
Ari motherfucking Ron. You guys have not seen Andor?
See?
I take it all back. Back.
See?
When you're writing articles, you just don't have a lot of time, and I do want to get to it. It's been highly recommended. I've promised Chance that I will watch it, but I think it's worth
like 10 movies, and anytime we would want to watch Andor, but then Rook would be like, "Hey guys,
no, we're watching this movie I've seen 1,000 times."
That's not exactly true.
That's exactly what happened.
That's
what do you guys want to watch? Then give us 2 options, and then be like, "Okay, yeah, so this is gonna be the one." And then,
they had never seen Pump Up the Volume, so I mean,
Andor. This is
well.
Now I know who to blame.
Is it's mandatory viewing for the Resistance.
Period.
All the people who have not seen it, like myself, why sell
go.
Andor to us?
Because it's a perfect representation of resistance in the face of fascism. Like and like in all facets of fascism. Like the people who wrote it, they were studying fascism in all of its forms in World War II and resistance and espionage and everything like that. And it is so expertly crafted, well written, every technical point of the show, like the acting, everything about it. It's fucking amazing. And it's the best that Star Wars has ever been.
There's another reason, Rook. After when dildos are flying, and we're doing the best we can to ensure that people are making fun of fascism, there is something that Andor breaks down pretty succinctly, and that is resistance requires sacrifice. Resistance requires sacrifice. And there will come a time when you're asked to make a decision of whether you're going to be safe or make a sacrifice. There's nobody who's exempt. You won't be exempt if you're at home. Your sacrifice will be made for you. There's no one who is above it all unless you're one of the authoritarians, and even them can be sacrificed. There's only one person that's important, and that is the leader. And resistance requires sacrifice. Either you make the decision to sacrifice something now, or that you're going to have to be able to say yes when it comes, or it will be made for you. And that's something Andor makes very clear and in a very real way.
Yeah.
And speaking of sacrifice, I mean, I saw what Matt sacrificed. I saw what Chance sacrificed. I see what Ari sacrifices every day. And just in terms of their energy and where they spend their time, and it's incredibly inspiring. And I'm grateful to know all of them.
With that being said, I'm going to say thank you all for being here. This is a historical podcast, and what's the name of that? What's that book company? It's like the owl with the glasses on it. I'm going to make sure that they get a copy of this and is sent to the Library of Congress, because I want to make sure that when this gets written up, these motherfuckers got to be here, and they're going to erase your cigarette. I just want you to know, Rook, they're going to erase your cigarette, but I'm going to give them.
They don't like that.
They don't like that. I'm going to give them a different picture to put in there. But thank you all so much. Thank you all so much for being here. Rook, I'll give you the last word, the co-host that I've missed for 2-3 weeks now.
I'm just grateful, like I said, to almost experience death with these people, no matter who was driving. And that black ice. I mean, I don't know, Matt, can you talk a little bit about the dangers of black ice before we go?
Well, I'm not sure why we got to talk about black ice, because the
snow, it's all that oppressive white snow.
It's that oppressive white snow that is, it's blinding. It's thick and it's everywhere. It's not the same. It's not the same.
Hand in hand.
It's dangerous stuff, but to spend time with these guys, and Ari, it's horrible. We have to do it under these circumstances, but I couldn't find better people to do it with, and I think that's really what counts.
Yeah, we definitely found the joy in all of this madness. Like, it's very important that you find the joy in it, because that's what keeps us sustained. That's why we have the energy to keep fighting ahead, because of people like Chance and Rook and Ari, and just it's them and so many others that just keep us. We all have bad days where we're like, I don't know if I can keep going, and then you rely on people like them, and it's like, okay. And
better.
Yeah, and balancing that despair with some laughter. I mean, finding reasons to laugh. Ari's a good example of that. Always finding a reason to laugh through this shitty time. Because if we don't, then we'll just callous up, and I don't know what would happen. Burn out. I don't know what do you think would happen, Ari, if we just stopped laughing?
I mean, I've felt all of the lows. Pretty deeply the last few months, so it's made the highs that much higher. So when I had all that bad news between Chicago and Minneapolis, to be able to to start to create the dildo delivery delegation, for us to have all the adventures that we had, all the laughs, there was a lot of crying, yes, but there was a lot of laughter, a lot of hope, a lot of just, everything sucks, but at least we have each other, and we know that at least the 4 or 5 people sitting here right now have the same goal in mind. Our approaches and our reasons are different, but we all care about the same thing, and that's just humanity and making sure that what's happening now can't be erased, and that we're documenting it. We're in the front line, so people can't skew the facts. because we've all been there. We've seen it.
Yeah, and before we go, can you talk a little bit about what people can do with Alligator Alcatraz and what's happening down there and how they can get involved if they live in Florida or anywhere nearby? Can you, I guess, tell people while we just have a few minutes?
So on freedomvigils.org, you can find buses that take you to the vigils at Alligator Alcatraz. They have buses leaving out of Fort Myers, Naples, and downtown Miami. The vigils are every Sunday at 4 p.m. They're from 4 to 5 p.m., just directly outside of Alligator Alcatraz. And most people I know are afraid of going to protest because of, you know, the law enforcement and, like, you know, the police activity. But at the vigils at Alligator Alcatraz, since they are peaceful vigils, and we have, you know, the Miccosukee working with the organizers and the different coalitions and faith groups, there is never any police presence. There is never any animosity. It's as peaceful as you can get. And it gives you an idea of how people are coming together and being dedicated to something that sometimes doesn't even affect them directly, but they know that being there matters, and they show up week after week.
I'm going to say this. Y'all go out, and we talked about Andor. You see the people here. We're just like you. Everybody out there, if you're still not gone outside yet, it may be the best thing you could do is go buy a dildo and be outside, because that might be the thing that gets you to say, okay, I'm going to try to do this and have some fun. If you're not at
dildo and be outside.
Go buy a dildo and be outside, brother.
How I show people how they can, you know, wear it outside.
There you go. There you go. You didn't know that she's not just a protester. She's not just a documenter. She's not just a resistor. She's a fashionista. She's going to show you the best way to wear your dildo for the fall season, for the upcoming spring season.
And the great thing about dildos is they come in all the colors, so you can color coordinate all your fits.
Outstanding. With that, good people, for the first time ever, we are not going to have a malfunction and a breakdown at the end of this show. Oh, we just lost Matt, so maybe we did. But I'm going to say, I love you all. Thank you for being here. Tomorrow we fight.